Mhm. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I know you all might have some questions or something about my lives I don't put up, and I haven't really gave anybody, time to ask questions. And I see a lot of people do be, be putting in likes and all that type stuff. If you want to know something, I'll tell you. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. I know a lot of y'all, I've been going back and forth, and I've been breaking it down. Oh, we my granny out or something else. She had been caught them up, and I caught the rest of them up too, because they followed me to East St. Louis, Illinois, and followed me to Florida and all this stuff. Love you. She even acted like she was dead at first, and she wasn't. Mm-hmm. Let me see here on her. My granny Ethel. Yeah, that's how they call Suge Knight now. Los Angeles Police Department called him. She had a nice place in Los Angeles, one bedroom, enough room for herself. And they caught Tevin Campbell and Suge Knight harassing her, bothering her, and they was bothering other people in that building. 50 Cent and them, all of them was in on them. Now, in Los Angeles, the police department, they don't play that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You know? hmm Even when they caught somebody at my mansion, those people hate to say their names, that look alike, that was trying to act like he was Allen Iverson. And man, Allen Iverson ain't never been big in his life. He always been skinny and bow-legged. Them legs always been thin. The other dude ain't my baby daddy, but that dude did rape me when I was pregnant. You know? But this stuff happened for real. Yep. Basically every time I got raped. Except for, other incidences I told you all about. Mm-hmm. And they be like, why you didn't do that? Like when I got raped at the frat house in St. Louis, Missouri, at the frat building. I had been knowing Ralph Mason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had been knowing him. He just a couple of years older than me, maybe 1 or 2 years. He used to work in my Woolworth and little stores like that, and nothing. He never really pushed the issue of anything. hmm I was over to his house, and I took all the kids with me. I took Malcolm, my kids, Bone Hip now. Boy, his living room was full of kids. And all of them know him. Except for my baby girls didn't know him. But the kids that went to junior high school and high school know him, Ralph Mason. And like, yeah, we'll go to Mr. Mason house. He we had movies, he got them pizza, everything. So we in his room doing, and the kids like, Mama, come eat. You know what you gotta eat? I'm like, yeah, let me go get my food. How my babies know it. So Malcolm handed me food. So he said it's like two more pieces left because he bought me three. He just, and handed me. He said, "Boy, I'm just walk in my room." I said, "He all right, don't yell at him. That's what they used to with me. You know, he ain't did nothing wrong." Okay. He said, "Yes, ma'am." He went back in the living room. Malcolm on the hip now realized what was going on. I didn't even know his brother was over there because I didn't go in the living room. Me and him, he done cut off the light. We in there having sex. He get up and say he got to use the bathroom. Next thing he on me, I'm like, calm down, dog. I know you done came like 4 times already all this time. He go, oh, hold on. Mama, you all right or not? What the hell? Who was you? Oh, my God. It was on. First time Ralph Mason ever played me like that. Mm-hmm. And then he did the unspeakable. He was like, I just want to apologize and sorry and talk to you and all this other stuff. Now, I know the frat buildings have cameras inside and out. Okay. But he took me where they was, finished fixing, but the security supposed to be up. The security camera still up. Why would y'all take all that down? He wouldn't let me out the building. And there was no way out. I'm talking about you had to have a key to get out the building. When I got out, whatever, make a long story short, I contact St. Louis City Fire Department, everything, code enforcement, you know, everything. And the man gonna tell me they had a lot of complaints, and I also notified the St. Louis City Police Department. Okay, and this. I said, you ain't asked me my name. You ain't say nothing. I said, you raping people with them. Oh, I'm checking. I said, I'm an attorney. I'm a chief judge in Illinois. And I got to, and in regards to the fact of my rank in society, I'm a woman. And I don't care if I was a man. Don't nobody want to be raped. No. So I talked to the police department again, and they asked me to come on. He said, he called me, he said, that's okay, I can go to the fire department now. You want my number, I'm going to call you from there and this, and that. And he called the fire department while I was on the phone, too. He was on the phone, all us on the phone the whole time. So all them guys that was there at the frat house did what they did. And this was in the 2000s. Mm-hmm. They lost their degrees, everything. Oh, my God. And the other one was like trying to act like, I made a complaint, but bitch, get out my face. You don't tell me how to handle me. Don't be letting people go off that stuff. And she gonna tell me, maybe they'll give you so much. They ain't got no money to give me, and they know that. I ain't got enough. Although they use condoms, that's still beside the point. And the police chief called me in St. Louis City. He said, you the one on the Enterprise and all this, these hotels and stuff downtown and all this. I said, yes, sir, it's me. He said, you right. He said he heard what I said, and you right. We're going to handle that because you a woman, and if you was a man. And I said, thank you, chief. That ain't no good thing in rape. That's rape. Mm-hmm. Whether a person grab you, when you was with somebody, you having sex with somebody, a couple people walk in, they make you have sex with them because you can't get out the building. That's still rape. Because you was forced to do something that you wouldn't have done. They left you no choice but to go ahead. Because anybody know me, I would have jumped out the window and the damn thing. It couldn't even get out the window. You know how the windows be and all that stuff. And they told them, code enforcement had already told them, take that stuff off the window. Ain't no need for that. Why you got cage windows? Mm-hmm. At a frat house. A frat building location, whatever you want to call it. Didn't nobody live there. Let me quit saying frat house. It was a frat location where they had their meetings at and do all they, self-help things with their fraternity. Whew, that building been empty ever since. Mm-hmm. Can't be letting stuff go. And then in the other video, I'm gonna finish this what it is. My daughter, by Tom Cruise, his first child, she was raised by Michael, this man Mike, I know, that played for the Warriors. His mama raised. And I said, like, where they moved to and all that, because I hadn't heard from him in a while, but I didn't know. But Tom Cruise was keeping up with him. He kept like, oh, I ain't talked to Tom, and this he kept being on some bull crap. I'm like, Mike, you got a woman or something? So anyway, so when Tom did that to our daughter, had sex with our daughter, he took care of her. Okay, I'm talking about anything half his paychecks. That's went to her even before that happened. He was gonna take care of her till she was 30 years old. He said, and he did that. So when he did that, but let me get to it. He was trying to see had she ever had sex. Because when she went to the prom, the boy dropped off. She came, went in the house and went to sleep. Doing this, doing that. And Mike mama telling Tom Cruise mama stuff because it ain't making no sense. The doctor say somebody in there having sex with her. It was Mike the whole time. He played for the Warriors. His mama knew something because she always took her to the doctor, all that stuff, OBGYN, regular doctor, all that. Somebody tampered with her. And here go Mike mama. Well, my husband, but her husband had been dead. It wasn't him. And they was like, oh, how she had recent sex? I said, she was like, ain't nobody in the house. It was her. So Mike did that Tom did that to see what she opened. And she was. Now, she had always been having sex, and she went on and told the truth. Mike had been bothering her. Mm-hmm. I said, every time I kept telling you, come on. Well, mm-hmm. I said, but you shouldn't did that, Mike, when the doctor, he said, because her butt kept lying. And I knew it. And I said, what else was going on up in there? She was like, nothing. You know? And he said, why did Mike daddy leave you so much money when he died? And she said he used to just be looking on her all the time. Tom was like, so he didn't understand. He said, I know they took to it, but see, that's when I went off on his mama too. Why y'all didn't get her too? And so she was saying everything was okay. I said, yeah. I said, I didn't know where they had moved to. You know? Mm-hmm. And she was like, Mike daddy, because she just looked on her. And Mike used to be, messing with everything else. Mm-hmm. And that's when her daddy, Tom Cruise, gave her $75,000. He said he was sorry to do it like that. She said, he was like, I'm telling you, I had to know. He said, I just said what I said. He said, I just was wondering. Especially after she said, well, my dad left all that money. But it was in the bank. It was in her name. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My mama would only let her spend it for so-called important things. She was an older woman. Yep. Mm-hmm. But the bank account was in her name, in my daughter's name. There wasn't nobody else's name on it. Because at first, the woman tried. She had it in her name. And Tom Cruise had found out about it in his mama. That's why Mike mama name was off of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I'm gonna share something with you about that. No, I can't say it. But yeah, that's kind of what was happening to my great grandma Ethel when she was growing up. Stuff like that. People she done had sex with. didn't want to, and all this other stuff claiming they used to be playing games back then. She wasn't no slave or no housemaid or nothing. It was like, ooh, we gotta go help her. All them white men. That's how she met Billy, my uncle that's dead, Billy Graham. And she ended up having 2 kids by him. Mm. But when he died, we left my grandma something. Mm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All back in the 30s, all them men they was leaving her money. They was older men. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And somebody had turned to Leah like she was doing something wrong, and they family was like, "No, Tommy shouldn't have did that to Elka." You know. Mm-hmm. You know, she renting rooms and all this stuff from these people. You know, while she traveling or just living with them, and they just coming in her room having sex with her. Mm-hmm. They telling her she ain't got to pay nothing, and you know, and mm-hmm. They wives or concubines, you know, their wives and stuff will be there, and they'll tell her, "Oh, wait, why'd you do her like? They know everybody know her and all this." And mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's how my grandma Elsa got sustained too. Mm-hmm. But they wives felt shame and just was telling Elsa, just pay on the insurance policy and you know and mm-hmm. Yeah. But she ended up having them kids. And she had Billy Graham and my auntie. I forgot my auntie name now. Billy Graham dead. I don't know if my auntie dead or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why Billy Graham wasn't no good. Because of his daddy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why it felt bad though. And all the wives used to be like, leave that black woman alone. Leave that woman. And she'll move and all that type of stuff, you know. And then she felt she was being set up because what it be, she'll be traveling and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lena Horne was getting done like that too, shit. Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Not as much as Alpha. My grandma Alpha. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then, when all this stuff was going on, the Kennedy family. Yeah, I'm talking about the Kennedy, the president of the United States. He was in office, what, months? For over a little bit over 1,000 days. Mm-hmm. They was in my grandma Elka's business so bad. That's what brought that up. They was like, how that Negro got all this and she be doing this and mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Worried about the wrong thing. Talking so, ooh, the people be leaving her money, all these men and their wives was like, leave her alone. You don't know what happened. Shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they was raping old grandma Elka. Mm-hmm. Yep, old great granny Elka. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because when our family came in town, traveling and doing all that stuff, our family's from the Bahamas. They asked Ethel to stay. They asked my great grandma Ethel to stay in the United States. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everybody coming back and forth, and one thing after another. And white men used to be on her all the time. Now she dated brothers, because the only white kid mixed kid she got, like I said, was Billy Graham and his sister. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that white man. This pull-out game was weak, huh? But them other white women, they did that on purpose. And she knew it too. The government figured that out. Because they was trying to figure out where them other kids at. She had other mixed kids. Oh, yes, she did. Oh, yes, she did. And them white women, they can't, oh, if you had the baby yet, and we'll keep it, and then they'll tell her a little bit later the baby's dead and all this stuff. My grandma ain't the one in there killing no kids. But it was not too much she can do about it back then. Well, go on, let the baby little white, let them go on with their family and all this. And a couple of the kids, they knew my grandma Ethel, my great grandma Ethel was their mama, but they was like, she just wanted to see them. And they was like, how that black woman? But they told the rest of their families would be telling them, what was going on. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it was. Mm-mm. Yeah. My grandma had a lot of kids. My great grandma Ethel. Mm-hmm. Yes, she did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how they used to do it. Oh, you can live here. Yeah, gonna have some sex, and them white women weren't really mad about her getting pregnant, and because they knew what they wanted to do to them babies. The white man wife thought his sister was gonna kill him, but she killed him. You know. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's Billy Graham and his sister. Yeah, a couple of them was honest about it. You know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to moisturize my hair. So, you know, back then a lot of stuff was in favor of my grandma, after my great granny Elsa. And the authorities went along with it too. Just let the nigger woman, let her just get a life insurance policy on them, and they'll agree and let it go. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And they started talking about all this other stuff. People ain't know what the hell they was talking about. Hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. And somebody started lying on my grandmama, acting like they was some kin of us, talking about, oh, my daddy died, she didn't give me nothing. She was like, that is not my child. I don't know who his dad is. That dude went to jail. And the other dude tried to start some mess. Hmm. The ones that was in on that mess, I told you one went to Jamaica. This man that my daddy trusted. The situation he made me sick and did all type stuff. I'm talking about lying about when he got there. He didn't even supposed to been there then. Mm-mm. He got in trouble with the Jamaican government for that. Because how in the world you even get on a plane, without a passport and you applied, that don't mean you just come. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my great grandmama, something else. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So when all them people kept getting in my great grandma help the business and all that, so she was friends with a lot of Caucasian people, Hispanic people, a lot of people. Not a prejudiced woman and that one causing no problems, you know. And a lot of other white people was getting mad because everybody getting in their business while they got a nigger in their household and they ain't no slave, they ain't no worker or nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like I said, them other women produced them kids. Oh no, here they go, here they go, here they go, here they go. Cause they look like. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just moisturizing my hair. How they falling off. Mhm, mhm, mhm. But that's what happened, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then plus she already had her own networks and all this stuff dealing with public television. She traveling, doing shows. You know, like me. She was the one that make you famous. She the one put the Negroes on the sign. Mm-hmm. She the one put Salmon Davis, Jr., Lena Horne, them, the other lady called her mama. All them famous Negroes came from her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lena Horne stuck with them when some other people didn't show up and my grandma had to do them parts. Mm-hmm. And she actually hired other people to do, stormy weather and all that stuff. But they'll work, they didn't want to work, and she'll get them money to get back and all that. You know. Okay. Yep. Cabin, all them cabin in the sky. It's so many other things. Everything Lena Horne was in, that was her production. Sammy Davis now. Mm-hmm. But they stuck with her. But they was like, should we get paid? They was trying to deal with other people and they really want to make it nothing. You know? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. The same way my daddy did business fair and square. People was making money off music. Well, we didn't know what the whole ledger is, plus what he had to spend, get his money back, plus his profit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how the ass got caught up too then. Same way people getting caught up with me. Cause I ain't signed nothing for nobody to be a payee for nothing at Universal or Disney. They fucked up. Warner, all of them, they fucked up. Everybody wanna know why I'm cussing. I'm mad. Who the hell? I ain't happy. Why the hell I'm gonna be a happy camper for? I have nothing to be happy about. Still ain't got the rest of the medication I need. I need my TKI. My TKIs. I need my diphenhydramine injection. My stomach is swole because I have severe allergies. And when I eat, I have food allergies and other stuff going on. I have food allergies, which keep my intestines and my stomach swole. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I done ran into some foreign people down here. Ain't no good. The same people I already reported. The same people denying me my medication. Told you about that man that raped me. Them two dudes I met and Smokey and them was telling them to do Smokey and my baby daddy Bird. Told them dudes to rape me. Yeah, them dudes raped me. They was going to school to be doctors. And they work in the allergy office. Oh, and they attitude, everything else was still showing. They wouldn't even give me a prescription for EpiPen. But another doctor had already gave it to me, but I was trying to find a specialist. And the man they work up under asked his office, he don't care. I'm telling him, he looking at me like, yeah, I said, I wonder if he a doctor for real. That's why all they background check, being checked, everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cause y'all did me wrong. And they mama gonna tell me. Don't press charges on them because they're going to school to be doctors too and all this. She was like, press charges on Smokey Robinson. He the one told them to do it. Mm. And their daddy asked them, how y'all meet Smokey Robinson? He said that day when I said hey to him, I just said, hey, we started talking and everything. And when he said when I pulled off, they came up to him. Mm-hmm. And his brother told the truth too, though. That's what came from, the truth. Whew. Yes, yes. And I'm gonna plait this up one more time. Now this is twisted. But I'm gonna plait it up. You I'm not finna go anywhere. I'm not about to go anywhere. Finna is not a word. I am not about to go anywhere. Just moisturizer my hair. Keep the texture. But that's the truth. But I just told y'all all that. My great granny Elpa got kids. Yeah, some of them look white. Although they mixed. She had more than Billy Graham. Well, he did, but she had more than just him. hmm hmm See, my great granny Elpa was the type of family get the organ and all her kids, everybody doing special, and me too. Grandkids, everything. She finna bring the problem in your face. Like she brought Billy Graham to me. Mm-hmm. She's like, there you go. hmm And after all that, him and Ben and my Uncle Ben, all them stuff, they got the fighting and stuff. Everybody mad at Billy. He mad, I'm talking about, hmm, yeah, yeah. My granny grabbed them belts. She whooped they grown butts. hmm And he acted like he wanted to swing back. That's when Ben knocked his butt out. Oh, no, you better not. hmm Yeah. Billy Graham went to the room, just went into one of the rooms and went to sleep. But before daybreak, it was trying to get daybreak. He knocked on my door, opened up the door saying he's sorry. All this. Went to Alpha. He was like, Mom, I'm sorry. Because he knew what she was going to do. She do it to all of them like that. hmm you have to settle family business sometime, and that's how it goes. Yep. Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Just enough. But anyway, you know, that's our family. And she said that's the way it should be settled before somebody kill each other. You know, because everybody was mad at him too, and him and Lenny. You know, mm-hmm. Cause my daddy was dead. Then we brought him back to life. Ooh, we did it all come. And I told you about the other stuff in the video. It was like, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Tyree's daddy just creeping around. Is he over there, man? Is he there? Mm. And that man that kept trying to act like he was took. Let me tell you, me and Tyrese would be having sex, and he'll come over. Huh. Tyrese, you did that. Because why would you leave my door open like that? I could be putting back on my clothes. He'll come in. Oh, let me get some in. Tyrese like, man, I ain't had no condom on or nothing. He's like, so what? And all this type of stuff. Tyrese ain't no good. The single Tyrese? Mm-mm. He can't explain that part for nothing in the world. And my house was never hot. He said it was too cold. He told me he left the door open. Why would you leave my door? Somebody lock the screen. Tyrese ain't over it.